starting your journey to financial freedom. Now. You're listening to the New Investor Podcast.
This is the Young Investor for the New Investor Podcast, and let's have a quick look at the markets. The tech giants have all shown solid quarterly results, and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq have closed at a record high again, and it seems also the US economy this quarter will show good results with a stronger consumer spending. And I don't look at this as a victory at all for my investments right now, as my results will be judged in a decade. But what I can see here is that when the economy is good, companies just strive to be more competitive. Therefore, they will spend more money in research and development of their product and services. They will hire more people. They will expand their operation, and they will also acquire other companies. This is all good for my investment in the long term. And I wish for all these companies I own a piece of to strive and flourish and be stronger should a crisis fall upon us. And the stronger they are, and the more likely they will face strong headwinds and uncertainty. I have been quite busy in the last few days, a lot of movement at work, coupled with me focusing on my side ventures again before and after hours. And the month of June and July may have been the most productive months I have ever encountered in my life, with the podcast, the release of my first book, and yet another project I'm working on for the young and new investors. And for the last 2 months, I have invested only 14% of my income into the stock market. The remaining 37% on average I usually spare for investment have been invested into the podcast, the development and release of my book, and the next phase I wish to focus on. These are all seed investments, of course, and the podcast is completely free. I do not do any advertising on it, as you can judge, and my book is now for sale at $1.99. Hardly ventures with an aim to get rich, as it is not the primary objective, and I believe should not be. I have also increased my overall yearly dividends after tax to $1,056 per year, or $88 per month, elevated through a new investment I have made into a company called Iron Mountain, and I am delighted about that. I believe the important here is to plant seeds for my future today, and to water these seeds every day and forever. Eventually I will bear witness to growth without expecting a fruit within the first few months, of course. And we all want everything right away. It is just in our nature, but it would be the wrong approach if you are attempting to build something you truly believe in. I have found a possible way to cover my costs for these initiatives. I have no idea if that will work out, but one will never know how things turn out if one sits around not trying. And I will share once I launch this initiative online, probably by next week. And I also realized one more thing yesterday when working on all of this, is that there is always one more thing you can do or research that could support your projects. It would be a mistake to be thinking that we will get it right the first time and that we have nailed the whole story. The market is the one dictating your next moves. It is up to you to find ways to adapt and get the attention you believe you deserve. And I don't think that only 20 years ago I could have done some radio or published a book in 5 months. It is indeed probably the best time to be alive if you want to build something for yourself. I can only but recommend you to try this adventure before you are filled with regret or miss on the opportunity of becoming the person you believe right now you can never be. In the meantime, I wish you happiness on this fine Saturday morning. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and I really hope that it brings you some additional support on your own journey towards financial freedom. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to never miss an episode, and looking forward to your DM and follow on Instagram at New Investor Podcast. In the meantime, stay invested, be patient, and keep playing the long-term game.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.